everybody, this is Naya from DoSpace, and today we will be talking about the history of Mac software. You will also find a download of this presentation at dospace.org. So let's get started. Now, this is just an overview of what we talked about in the hardware systems. So basically these four slides are basically the same. You can pause the video to read over them before we get started on the software. Okay, and now, as I said in the last video, we went over the hardware of the Mac, and now we are going to go over its software. The Cheetah. Apple's first major system, known as Cheetah, was radically changed from the previous Mac 09, Apple's classic operating system. Announced at the 2000 Mac Expo in San Francisco, Mac OS 10.0 introduced the new Aqua user interface, which showcased title bars with a brushed metal look, brightly colored buttons on windows, and photorealistic icons. OS X Cheetah also debuted the dock, which still gives modern Macs their notable appearance. New apps were included as well, such as Mail, Address Book, and Text Edit. OS X Puma was announced at the 2001 Macworld Expo in New York. It provided faster menu interface and login, as well as configurable options such as a movable dock and new system menus with controls for volume, battery life, and airport access on the menu bar. iTunes was bundled with the Mac with the OS X 10.1 with CD burning capabilities, DVD playback and support for third-party digital cameras and MP3 players. While the earlier versions of OS X did have Jungle Cat names, they were not used for marketing purposes until OS X Jaguar. Introduced at the 2002 Macworld Expo, it featured an updated mail app that placed spam in the junk folder. iChat became Apple's default instant message app with built-in capability with AOL Messenger, along with the new Finder offering refined search. OS X 10.2 included universal access for the first time and allowed users to magnify screen contents or launch applications with speech dictation. The next one that they introduced after Jaguar was Panther. and this was introduced at the WWDC in 2003. It included Expose, a useful feature that let users instantly view all open windows at once, view windows of a current program, or just view files on the desktop. iChat AV let users communicate with audio and video as well as text, and Safari became Mac's default web browser after it dropped support for Internet Explorer for the Mac. The 2.3 also introduced File Vault to encrypt hardware data with 120-bit keys. Fontbook, Apple's simplified application for managing system fonts. Xcode, Apple's development tool to build Mac applications, and a revamped Finder with sidebar for easy access to disk drives, networks, and folders. And the following year at WWDC was the introduction of Tiger, which introduced a universal search client Spotlight, which allowed users to search their entire system from the menu bar for files, emails, contacts, images, calendars, and applications. Dashboard featured widgets for weather, flight information, stock tickets, and more. Safari included RSS features, and iChat supported up to 4 participants in a video conference or 10 participants in an audio conference. 10.0, 10.4 also introduced Automator, an application that automated tasks and workflows such as remaining large groups of files or redesigning dozens of images, and VoiceOver, and that's an accessibility interface that provided magnification options, keyboard control, and spoken English descriptions of what happens on screen. It also became the first OS to support Apple Intel architecture after Apple's transition to Intel x86 processors, and it later became the longest running version of Mac OS prior to Leopard's release 30 months later. So in the next video, we will be talking about Leopard. So this has been Naya from DoSpace, and I will talk to you then.